Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I am Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, and we are back for Season 2, Episode 6 of our...
Are there really any conspiracies anymore, by the way?
Everything, they're all true now, so they're not theories.
Okay. All right, you can finish up. Season 2.
Yeah, I got to find a new conspiracy because they've all coming true. I'm 12-0 right now in conspiracies.
Season 2, Episode 6. Sorry, I cut you off, but when you say conspiracy, I'm like, that's not even really a thing anymore, is it? I guess the flat earthers are still out there, and you know about the hostile aliens heading this way. They're supposed to be here in October, November, sometime, December.
Yeah, they're on the way, and the moon landing's fake. That one's still yet to
still out there. The news, the moon landing, to me, there's so many people now who believe it's not true, and they all base it on the knowledge. So how can we lose that knowledge? Well, how many of you can still do math in your head? So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's true.
And now AI is going to make sure you don't think it all for yourself. So, hey. But anyway. So we did have job reports come out.
Yep.
And have not been good.
No.
So last week we had a bad jobs report, and then they downgraded July's job report down to negative growth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something going on there. So do you think Powell's going to drop interest rates in another week or so?
So, I'm pulling up an article on Realtor.com from a couple hours ago. It says pressure grows for Fed rate cut as stunning jobs data revision shows economy teetering. It says that the revision to job growth data for the 12 months through March 2025 revealed the labor market grew by 911,000 fewer jobs than previously reported. So, it looks like they're, considering it, or they're at least putting pressure to do it. I don't know how much dropping them or cutting it is going to really do for the economy, because people were saying it could go the other way when you do that. So I know you're the economy guy. So obviously, as a real estate agent, I'm like, yeah, cut rates a little bit. Let me pick up a little bit. Let's stimulate, buyers back in the market. But what are the long-term costs of that?
I mean, if we drop the rates, you're going to see investment go up. Investment would include your houses and everything else. And investment is already going up because of all the deals Trump's made. So that's going to eventually start flooding in here. If the interest rates are lower, then that's just going to have a huger impact on the economy. The problem is, and we're still on that razor's edge, that if we push too quickly, that it could end up causing prices to go up again.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation could rear its head again. But we're in this situation because of government intervention. We're trying to stay between this time of recession and this time of inflation, and we're teetering back and forth because of so many decades of government screwing up our economy. And yes, I know some economists comes across this and they'll start arguing that I'm wrong, but that's why there's so many school of thoughts about economics.
Right.
My colleagues who we call Keynesian economists would say, no, we've saved the world from collapse because we saved the United States from collapse. And I think they just put us on the edge of being collapsing even worse. So we'll argue about that for decades. Just like the Great Depression, we still argue about what caused the Great Depression. Most people would think that it was the stock market. That's what most people think. No, the government caused the Great Depression.
Yeah, they tend to be the common denominator in a lot of failures in this country.
Yes, they are. Very
ironically.
It's like Thomas Sowell said, though, you put these people in charge of stuff, but why do you put people in charge of making decisions that they don't have any repercussions if they're wrong? Congress sits up there and passes all this stuff, and if they're wrong, no big deal. Most likely, by the time they're wrong, they've moved on to another office anyway, and they don't have any cost to pay. So it ends up we're the ones paying the cost.
Right, I was going to say there's no consequence of anything they do. We accept what we eat it. They make the decision, right or wrong. We eat the cost. They line their pockets, get rich while they're in the office. Doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't affect them. So when you're making decisions that won't affect your life personally, it's really easy to make wrong ones and then just be like, whatever, and not
Yeah,
think about the repercussions of what you did. So there's no skin
exactly.
in the game when you're making these decisions.
Exactly. But that's the world we live in. And I think that goes down to our last two podcasts we've talked about with all the people on the streets and all the crime going on, everything else happening. That's part of the same thing. The government started hiring social workers instead of police and defunding the police, and now we're paying the consequence for it 2 or 3 years later. And but they don't want to go back the other way because they said I literally heard one of them say, "Well, this has been working the last few years. Why would we change it? How is it working? Oh, because the percentage of crime is down. People are still getting killed every weekend in Chicago.
Right.
It's
Right.
like
Yeah,
at
it's
some
crazy.
point, with the birth rate like it is, you would expect the numbers percentage wise to go down because it's not as many people.
Yeah, yeah, we're on a nice decline of humans and population. I know people don't believe that. They say everywhere's overcrowded, but
Oh, it's
not
not
the
ever.
case.
We had that. That was one of our good podcasts way back when. If you had never seen it, look back on our. I don't know. I'm not sure if we were on video by then, but it's definitely on audio on Spotify when we talked about the great population explosion. That book I told you about in the '60s. We had a good
Hmm.
discussion about that. But
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843 957 3872. That's 843 957 3872.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwestc@gmail.com. That's coachwestc@gmail.com.
people still believe that we're overpopulated. But
Yeah.
depending on which study you read, I mean, even 10 years ago, it was like 6 billion people in the world, or 15 years ago, and they literally all of them could fit inside Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't be comfortable; it'd be like a foot apart. But I mean, literally, that's how many people we're talking about.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's we're nowhere near overpopulated.
No. No, it's crazy. It really is. I never knew. I know, you hear people complain about, oh, there's too many people, too many whatever. You hear people say that, but you never, if you don't look at the numbers, it's really hard to tell that we're
Yeah,
losing population because people aren't having kids. It's not affordable to, it's a tough thing to do and raise kids, especially in this environment. And yeah, I have concerns, not and financial concerns are one, but I just have concerns about the way the world's going, about having kids. That's my main concern. It's not necessarily affordability to raise one, which that's expensive too, and is a huge cost you have to consider. But for me, it's more, do I want to have kids with all that's going on around me? And
yeah,
I've told you before, I battle with that daily, whether I
yeah.
want, you know.
But the only way to change the future is to have those kids, though.
Yeah, no, I know. And then I circle back to that at the end of it. I know.
But I mean, I have a son that's definitely not gonna have kids. I got one son that's got two kids, and another son who's thinking about having kids. So he's probably my third son is probably like you. He's kind of debating, is it really something we should do? Whereas the son who has two kids, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't end up having 4 or 5.
Oh, good for
And
them.
and it's one of those things. And I know I'm talking to, depending on who's listening, I'm either going to agree with me or think I'm crazy. But until you have that kid, you just there's a lot of life you don't understand. It's
Yeah.
just it's hard to explain. There's no way to write it down and get somebody to understand it until you are responsible for another life. It doesn't change your perspective. Unfortunately, these days, because of the way society is, even people who do have a baby don't necessarily change their view. Uh, they, I still don't understand how a parent who has children can go out and get high or use drugs. I just don't get it, but I see it every day.
Yeah. Well, you have
So, but
there's that's one part of society that we could have an episode of that alone is just the amount of bad parents in this country or just bad parenting in this country. There's a lot of
we
it.
could we could couple that with doing a movie review on Idiocracy. So
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so we've come up with a few other topics we can probably address in future episodes. I know we've about wrapped this one up.
Yeah, we've been in this for this week, but we'll
Yeah.
I'll write this down. Let's say parenting. We also wanted to get back. There was something that you wanted to talk more about a few weeks ago, and I can't remember what it was. It was one of our scripture talks, and you said, "Now we're going to come back to this for longer." But I can't remember. Oh, it was euthanasia. I'll have to look back and see what we got into. But that euthanasia brought up a lot of stuff that we talked about. That
Yeah, I
we
think it
got
was
explore.
that. I think it was that, and then I think we were talking off air about like some of the Dead Sea Scrolls and like the Book of Enoch and some of these other books that
Oh
I had.
yeah, the books. Okay, books of the Bible. We'll have to do one on that one. That was
Yeah.
fun. I like those discussions. Parenting, books of the Bible, Idiocracy. If you haven't watched that movie, I would tell you not to go watch it because you'll waste 2 hours of your life because it's so stupid. But then again, I almost think it's a documentary on today's world. So,
That's terrifying, honestly, because it'll probably
Which-
be so realistic to today's world. I'll probably be sad after it.
oh, I thought you'd seen it. You hadn't seen it yet?
Uh-uh.
You got to watch it. Then. Yeah, you need to watch it. I didn't know it, and I don't know if I read this online or somebody told me, but one of the things that it got made fun of was the shoes everybody was wearing. They were all wearing the same kind of shoe because it was easy to slip on and easy to clean. Guess what it was?
What?
Looks like Crocs.
Well, when you said that, I was thinking Crocs in my head, but I was like, I don't know, he can go anywhere with this. Oh, geez. So, yeah, maybe it's onto something. Then I'll have to check that out. There might be too many correlations. It might freak me out.
It's definitely. I actually used a clip. I used a clip last week out of that movie about money because they. Yes, I pulled it up in Idiocracy Crocs connection. How the movie inspired the Crocs or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a Croc fan.
Yeah, I'm not either. My wife loves them though, so I don't say too much.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
All right. Well, I hope y'all have had a good week. Hope you have a good weekend, and we will see you next time.
We'll catch you on the next one, guys.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit BobbyClary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.